An activity that will really help your child socially is learning how to use board games. Board games are really powerful in regards to helping your child learn about turn taking, following simple rules and structure. It will also too help them in following sequences because of the way that a board game is put together. And so what we've done here at the Sunrise program is we have created a series of board games that go from the very beginning, from a place where a child has no idea or maybe notion of what a board game is all about, starting with something very simple like this, which is music time. And let's say I'm wanting my child to really start to understand what using a board, using different things on the board, or even bringing their attention to a board is like, and can be fun, it can be interactive. Now, this one is music time. And so what we've done is we have a number of different pictures we put together, we laminated them, and each one represents a different song. Okay, so let's say your child was looking over the board, looking at you. You could pull down one of these particular pictures, and this one is Wheels on the Bus. And as soon as you pull it down, you could start singing, "The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round." So you could start singing. It doesn't matter what your voice is like, you can sing. All right? So then your child, you can encourage your child to come and take one of these down. And as soon as they come down, then you start to sing. So this is a really good one, very simple one to get your child focused on and starting to understand what a board and a board activity and game is like. Now, as we progress in terms of our child's ability to understand what a board game is all about, this one is one where it follows sort of a little circuit, and on each point of the journey, you'll see there's the steep steps, the slippery slide, the trampoline. What you could do is show your child, and you could be pointing to it. So you say, we start, and then we go over to the steep stairs. And then at that point, you could stop, run over to the steep stairs, and encourage your child to come up the stairs. And then you could give them a spin as you take them off the top of the stairs. Then you can come back over to this board, and then you can go on to the next picture, which is the slippery slide. And then you could go over to the slippery slide, go up the slide, and slide down. But you get the idea where your child's actually paying attention to what's next. It's enjoyable, and there's pauses along the way for your child to go and to do something that they might love and they might like. All right, so that's that one. Now, as we go further, we then come to a board game again that we made here at the Sunrise program, and this was for a child who was into Dr. Seuss. Okay, and what we did was we put a number of sort of counterpoints and pictures and images of Dr. Seuss along the way. And so what you would do then is get each of you and your child will have a little object, or this is a car. And what you do is maybe roll a dice, or roll a dice that has colors on it. And then you would land on that color. And so that they see that you would follow along on the different counters. Now, once you get to a picture, maybe there's a certain activity that happens. Maybe your child gets chased because that's what's happening in the picture. And so you could see as you go along, your child is going to learn about going along around a course as they are playing the game. And there's these fun interactive points along the way. So this one's a little bit more sophisticated. It kind of builds on that last one we talked about. And then here we have, and I'm excited to show you this one. This one is, again, one we have made here at the Sunrise program, but this particular one is one that is built around a particular child, where you're using your child's motivations, you're using particular topics that they like. You're also, too, incorporating a goal that you might be focused on. So, for example, as you see this board game, and let's say we start here, and you'll see there's different pictures, okay, along the way. And so what we have here is a number of cards that when you land on each a particular picture, then we get to pull up one of the cards. So let's say I land on the starfish. I land on the starfish, and then I look at it. Oh, my child is interested in cars. And so on this particular one, this is my child's motivation. So they get to hear something about cars. So this particular one says facts about cars. And it says, and I share this with my child, or my child has read it if they landed on it. I say, 3 cars made in the USA are General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford. So this would be an interesting fact that might be motivating for your child. Now let's say I go on and I land on this smiley face, and this is a fun thing to do. So as you see on the back of the card, you could use an erasable marker that has written down different questions that you could change if you want. But this one is a fun thing to do. So this one says, pretend you are a frog singing by the lake. So you might go, crow, kitty crow, 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 as you're singing by the lake. So that would be a frog singing by a lake, believe it or not. And then let's say there's a question mark one. Now this is where I put my goal in. My child's goal is to ask personal questions or to answer personal questions. And so let's say I pull this one up, and it says, ask your friend, do they have any pets? So that's a personal question that only the other person would know the answer to, and it's their personal answer. And so that would be a question then I would ask to my friend. And so that would also too be working on the goal. And as you're going around and working your way around, you're having lots of fun, you're enjoying yourself as you do this. So these are just some examples of board games that you can create when you go home or when you are at home, so that you can then use it as a way to help your child learn a valuable skill. Because whether you are 5 years old or whether you're 25 years old, playing with board games is a way that we socialize and we interact with one another.